I didn't tell many people. I told like 2 people that I was like, I think I'm gonna try this and start doing open mics where I could find them at like coffee shops and random comedy clubs. Comedy Store had one.
Yeah.
That was like at 5 o'clock, so I didn't have to be 21 to get in or whatever. And I would do those, but I wasn't loving stand up. And somebody that was at the open mic told me like you should try improv because he was like, you're making up everything you're saying. You don't write the jokes.
That's
down.
funny.
And I go, no, I don't write them down because I'll write them down and then immediately go, that's not funny.
Yeah, you'll second guess yourself.
Yeah. And so I started making them up, and then nobody gets laughs at open mics, but for a person like me who was like just starting, I was like, I'm not getting no laughs. I got to start figuring out a way to try to get laughs. And he saw it. He's like, you should do improv. I was like, what is that? And he was like, like whose line is it anyway? And I was like, oh, I didn't put 2 and 2 together.
Right.
That was a thing. I didn't realize that doing just improv was a thing.
Yeah.
And I started doing research, and I started seeing like, I'm Googling like how everybody got on SNL. Like my favorite, how did Will Ferrell get here? How did this person get on Mad TV? And I kept seeing this Growling Second City. So I went to the Growling's website, too expensive. And also I didn't really recognize any. I was like, black people don't do this. Because there was like the 2 names that I recognized from there. I mean, out of all the white people that I recognized just from the history of comedy, but the 2 black people that I recognized were Daniel Gaither and Phil Lamar.
Okay.
And there was another black name on there named Jordan Black. And what's insane is that I know all these people now. But at that time, I was like, oh, those 2 people were on Mad TV.
Right.
And then I Googled the Jordan Black guy, and he had been a writer on SNL. And I was like, oh, shit, okay. But there were only 3. I went to the Second City website. As soon as it popped up, it was like a college brochure that was like Edgar Blackman was on stage at the time. Oh, Sam Richardson was on stage at the time. And then they had like a thing called Brown Co. that was like Christina Anthony and Chris Redd, I think, was around at that time, and like all these other people. And I was like, oh, snap.
There you go.
There it is. Like somebody that looks like me doing this. And so I went, and also Growling's classes were like $200 more than Second City class at that time. So I was like, that's gonna be an easier sell to my mom because I need her to give me the money. And so I'm like, if I can get this class. And so I was about to turn 21. Like it was getting close to my birthday, and I was like, she was like, what do you want for your birthday? And I said, I want to take this improv class. And she was like, what? I've been trying to get you to do that. I was like, I don't need a lecture. Can you pay for it? That's what I want for my birthday. That's all I'm asking for. And that would be my Christmas gift too. Like both, because my birthday is right by Christmas. And so she was like, all right, fine. That's what you want? Like, and we signed up. She gave me her credit card, and I called and signed up that day.
That's amazing.
And started the class that day.
Wow.
And because it was like the last day to sign. They were like, classes start on December 16th. And I called. It was December 16th. And I called, and I was like, it was like 11 o'clock in the morning. Classes at like 3 o'clock. And I was like, hey, is there room in that 3 o'clock class? And the person who answered the phone was like, yeah, you want to get in? And I was like, absolutely.
That's very cool.
And so I signed up that day, and that's when I started. And I went, and I was like, I fell in love with it. It was immediately the feeling that I got from basketball, but without all the toxicity of sports.
Sure.
Like nobody yelling at you, nobody demeaning you, nobody, right. And I fell in love with it. I immediately was like, this is what I want to do.
That's so cool. I didn't realize you started at Second City.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah, that's where I started.
So then I assume it just snowballed there. You start doing IO, you start doing UCB and everything.